let's take the first question.
All right, our first question will come from the line of Luke Kelly. Luke, your line is now live.
Hey, Douglas. How are you doing, and how is fight camp so far?
Doing good. Fight camp was really good. No issues, healthy, and feeling good, feeling ready for Friday.
That's good. You fought MVP before. Do you feel like you're going to see the same approach, or will you expect a different look from your opponent?
Yeah, pretty much the same. He's been doing the same thing. Stuff that's been working for him. He's pretty crafty. He moves a lot. I think it's gonna be a lot more outside of my range now in this fight. I don't think he's gonna want to stay close to me. But pretty much the same style. You know what I mean? We're prepared for everything. That he brings. I'm ready, and let's see.
Good luck.
Yes, sir.
Jack, go ahead.
Hi, Douglas. Jack from Planet Sport here. You've lost 2 fights in a row now since your last victory over Roy McDonald in October 2019. And how are you looking to redeem yourself this Friday?
It's the fight game. You know what I mean? Fighting tough guys, fighting tough competition. That's how it is. But I'm good, man. I feel good. The camp was good. I feel healthy. And ready to get back on track, get this win and go after the belt one more time.
And does Page's win streak faze you, or are you confident to keep your 100% record against him?
No, it doesn't faze me at all. Like I said, I'm fighting tough competition here. The sport is hard. There's a lot of risk. One bad night, you lose, get back on the horse, keep going, you know what I mean? Been doing this for like 20 years almost already, you know what I mean? So I know what you expect, like I said, it's not an easy sport. And stuff like that can't keep me down. It just motivates me to come even harder, you know what I mean? And that's what I did, train, work hard, and I'm ready. I'm ready for Friday night.
That's brilliant. Good luck Friday.
Thanks, boss.
Donna, go ahead.
Douglas, when you look back at that first fight, I'm not sure when you last watched it, but Michael believes that he was winning up to the point where he believes he sort of messed up. He was overeager. He says he rocked you. What's your assessment of that fight? Would you agree with him that he was getting the better of the exchanges before you managed to stop him?
No, I don't agree that he was winning the fight. He did one good thing, which was land that punch, which was out of my mistake. I had my hands down on my shorts, lifted up, and that's when he caught me. I think I was doing pretty good. I landed a bunch of leg kicks. I was on top of him in the first round. And, when he made the biggest mistake, I capitalized on it and finished. So, good for him, I guess, for his head, for his mental side. He wants to believe that he was really beating me, convincingly. That's on him, you know what I mean? But I don't mind. I know what I was doing. I know how the fight was going, and it was going to go my way either way.
And
All right, our next question comes from Gabriel Gonzalez.
Hey, Douglas. I'm wondering, you're fighting him obviously in his town, in his country. The crowd's going to be behind him. Just when you're going into that situation, what are some things you do to focus on to make sure you don't let that crowd energy affect you personally?
I don't think he ever did. It's not the first time, that I fight somebody at their house. It doesn't faze me at all. For me, the cage is the same. It doesn't matter where you put the cage, everything is the same. I'm fighting the guy, what I'm focusing on is the guy in front of me, not who's around him. When I'm in the arena, I only listen to my coaches. If there's boos, if there's cheers, that doesn't really get to me. As long as it's pretty loud, even if it's for him, I'll be okay with that. Happy to have the fans back.
Approaching the fight, is there necessarily pressure to outdo your last performance against MVP to make a statement? Because obviously your knockout was very highly regarded the last time.
Definitely. Not just, for the fans and everybody else, but for myself. I like to finish fights. I think my last knockout was against him, if I'm not mistaken, and I plan on keep on doing it. I want to finish fights. If it's a sub, if it's a KO, my goal is always to finish. So I'll definitely be looking for those.
Ty, go ahead.
How you doing, Douglas?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. So I want to ask you, in your last fight, what do you feel went wrong against Amosov?
Everything. I didn't perform, man. I think I was holding too much on my guard, locked the guard. Terrible performance on my behalf. Camp was great. Everything was good up until when the fight started. I just froze after the first takedown, man. I just locked my guard and stayed in there. I should have opened. I should have fought back. I should have fought harder. And pretty much made it easier for him, to grind out the whole fight.
Last one here. Bobby?
Douglas. So in your last 3 fights, they've all been 5-round decisions, which is a lot of cage time for one man in such a short period of time. Do you think having that much cage time in those previous bouts is going to hinder your performance on Friday, or do you think that sort of helps increase your cardio output?
Yeah, I know I got the cardio to go 5 rounds, a lot of ring experience, that helps. But 3-rounder, for the first time in a long time, so that means a faster pace. I'm gonna push even harder and leave it all inside that cage. I'm ready. You know what I mean? I'm excited, and I'm gonna leave it all in there, man.
All right. Thanks for the time, Douglas. Good luck on
Thanks,
Friday.
guys.
The recording has stopped.
Ring experience, that helps.
We will be joined by Leah McCourt in just a few minutes.
This meeting is being recorded.
We are now being joined by Leah McCourt. We'll begin with a few questions from our media. Gabriel, your line is now live.
Hello, Leah.
Hello.
Hi. So obviously, coming off a fantastic victory over another, up and coming prospect. Going into this fight now, what is your biggest goal in terms of making a statement in the ever-growing featherweight division?
Every fight you want to make a statement and put on a good performance, and that's the same as this fight. I'm coming in, had a great camp, feeling good, and just want to perform on the night. That's always the goal, and it's a big platform. It's so amazing to be here in London. So excited, so feel so blessed to be in this position, and I'm just can't wait to fight night.
Your profile has obviously grown doing the work at the desk for Bellator, and then, of course, getting a big victory, like I said. Have you felt just a growth in your profile, whether it be in social media, whether it be in media requests overall?
I suppose from my amateur career, I always did a lot of media. There was a lot of kind of media interest. I think it was because I'm I'm quite relatable. People can think I have a daughter. I'm a mum. I work hard, and I had a successful amateur career, and people have just kept following that. So it's kind of been constant throughout, and obviously it's great. It's great for me and puts me in a good position. Like co-main event at Wembley, it's just I've only had 6 professional fights, and to be given this platform, it's definitely a dream come true.
Okay, go ahead.
Hey, Lee, I wonder if we could just start with the fight itself. Jessica Borga is 1-1 in Bellator. She may not have the most imposing record, but all of her wins have come via finish. Just give us your thoughts on the matchup coming up.
Yeah, I think Jessica's a tough opponent. In female MMA, the records don't always reflect the ability of the fighter, and she has got great finishes over good opponents, and her losses are to good opponents, the tough opponents. She's quite similar stylistically to me. She likes to close the distance, put it against the cage, and take it to the ground. And it's an interesting fight for me. I think it's going to be quite technical. Who's going to bring out the best? I think she could bring out the best in me. And whenever we get in those clinch positions, you make one mistake and you're on your back. But I just think I'll be one step ahead, and that's my game. That's what I'm used to. And I feel like I've had a really strong camp, and it could be a tough fight, but I'll always come out on top.
You mentioned only having 6 fights, but it should also be said that you're on a 5-fight win streak, and it'll be 6 if you do get past Borga. You're ranked 5th in the weight class right now. Have you thought about where this win could put you? Because when you look at the women ahead of you, Kat seems like she's likely for the next title shot, and theoretically, you could be up there next year.
I just look at the next fight. I'm just always looking at the next fight, the next opponent, and it's never like, I don't think how many. It's going to be inevitable. I'm going to be fighting for the title, and I always say, I was an amateur world champion. It's my destiny to be a professional world champion. But I don't look at like there's a number of fights that I should have. I look at it when I can bring out the best of myself in the cage, and I'll know when I'm ready. I'll know when the time is right. I have only had 6 professional fights, and every fight's an acid test. I'm fighting in big shows, big platforms, and massive pressure on my shoulders, and I'm just trying to find my rhythm and bring out the skill set that I have on the night.
Mark?
Leah, how are you doing? It's Mark Sterling here, BBC Sport in Belfast. Are you all right?
I'm good, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. I'm good. Leah, just wanted to come back. You mentioned there about your daughter and your role as a mother. I was just wondering, I saw your tweet earlier on about the parent-teacher meeting. How did it go?
Oh, it's so good. Actually made me cry. The teacher said that she was such a lovely girl and had such a nice way about her and spirit and nice to other kids, and that's like all I can ask for. I don't care if she gets everything wrong or everything right in her. I just care about who she is as a person, and she's so special, and the teacher just reinforced that like they always do. Like she really is a special girl.
Yeah, there's not much better than hearing somebody telling you how great your kids are. So there's not.
Yeah.
But I suppose you don't mind speaking about your role as a mother, and and the importance of your daughter. Does she? Do you think your daughter maybe gets does she understand exactly what mommy's away off to do?
She's definitely used to me, obviously, doing fight camps and fighting, but I'm just really looking forward to next week when I can just spend time with her. I'm probably going to take her away at half term. I have to sacrifice so much time away from her for my training. Like any working mum has to. We all have to work and provide for our kids, so it's not like I'm special and other mums don't find it hard as well. But yeah, she gets it, and I think she would prefer me to be at home with her. But when she's older, she'll understand why I was training so hard all the time.
Sean, go ahead.
Hi, Leah. Sean Sheehan here from Severe MMA. Just two questions. The first one I want to ask you is, you spoke there a second ago about the ranking and fighting someone maybe who's 3-3 and maybe not as highly ranked as you. How do you reckon that, as someone yourself who is only 6 fights into your career, like how do you reckon between being ranked number 5 and being maybe 1 fight away from Cyborg, one of the greatest fighters we've ever seen, with only being 6 fights in, and maybe needing a good few more fights before, never mind anyone else, but before yourself, you're at a real top stage of your career where you're ready for the absolute best in the world?
Yeah, like I totally agree. And that's the difficulty with women's divisions. There's not all these fighters that I can build my record with. Every fight I've had has been on a massive show or a massive stage, or they're all tough opponents, and that's obviously I get the benefits of that, of being in this position, fighting in co-main event, but at the same time it's like every fight's an acid test. So I know when I will be ready for the title fight, and I know that what I want to. Again, I'm going to say it's not about how many fights I need. It's when I can bring out the best of me in the fight, and when I can relax and show and flow and just feel comfortable, which again, I only had 6 professional fights. So it's a difficult position to be in, but again, I'd fight anyone. So I'd fight in the car park if they were paying me.
I just ask you as well about Northern Irish MMA. It's a really great time for Northern Irish MMA. As we know, James is going to be headlining the card coming up. Paul Hughes is a huge headlining fight as well. John McColligan is champion over in Cage Warriors as well. And you've been, obviously a great proponent for MMA up the north of Ireland as well. How proud are you to be with that kind of group of people? And, in the big fight in a co-main event here as well this weekend. How proud are you to be a Northern Irish woman doing well, like all the rest of the guys as well?
Yeah, Joe was my main training partner for years, and I'm best friends with his wife, and I was so happy to see him win the title. I was so delighted. And then Paul Hughes is unbelievable. I've trained with him. All these guys, we've all came up together, all training together in the same clubs, sparring. We all go about different gyms, and they've definitely all motivated me. I watch Joe's fight and Paul's fighting. You just look at the level and the skill level that they bring on the night. And Joe's always been a big inspiration to me, his work ethic and how he can perform and show up, and his mindset. So proud of those boys as well. It's just great to see that, the North is flying high in MMA.
Santiago.
Hi, Leah. Greetings from Amsterdam, and thank you for the time. I spoke to you after your beautiful win against Janae Harding, and I asked you where you would like to fight next, and you answered Dublin or London. That wish is granted. How much does it mean for you to be in the European time zone again? This makes your fight week routine way better, right?
Yeah, so much nicer, so much more relaxed, and it's just so exciting to be part of the BELLATOR London card. It's the first Bellator card back in London, Ireland since the pandemic, and I was meant to fight in London back in May. This was the first card that was cancelled in the pandemic, I think, and definitely again feels like a dream come true. To feel so fortunate to be in this position and to be on such a big fight night. I'm so excited for MVP and Leary rematch too. I remember watching the first one, never mind fighting just before them. So it's special. It's going to be a special night.
Coral.
Hi, Leah. How are you?
Hi.
Good. I was just wondering, what's your confidence like going into this fight? You're on the co-main card. It's a huge event for you. So how's your confidence going into this fight?
I'm always confident. I always believe in myself. I'm just gonna. I've had a great camp. It comes down to the work I've done and the hours and hours and hours that I've done in the gym, and that will show. It always does show on the night. You can do whatever you want outside the cage, but I believe I work harder and put more in than anyone, and it always shines through. I feel like I'm going to be one step ahead in every position. Whether it's clinching, striking, no matter where it goes. I have that experience in deep water in the gym. I every week in, week out, and I always am going to just believe that I'll get the win. It's always my mindset that no matter what position I'm in, no matter who I'm fighting, you can find a way to win, and that'll be. You don't know what's going to happen. You could go in there and act like a totally different fighter, but I just have to adapt, and I'm used to fighting different styles, so I'm really confident.
Luke Kelly, go ahead.
Hey Lee, Luke from Empire Universe podcast. How are you?
I'm good, thanks.
First off, how has your fight camp gone?
Yeah, had a great camp. Pretty injury free for a change, and been back doing a lot of work with my head grappling coach, Sebastian Torres. Kind of going back to my A game, what I like doing, and just really leveling up in that area. You can't progress in every single area massively every camp. You just have to focus on bits at a time, and I've just trying to improve every day and piece everything together and make it flow. And I felt this is probably one of the best camps I've had in a long time.
You spoke very highly about Jessica. Would you say that she has been the most dangerous opponent that you've had so far?
I don't know. I suppose your next opponent's always your most dangerous opponent. I fought some top girls like Manon Farrows and doing amazing in the UFC. Now I've fought two-time Olympic judokas. I've fought, all different people stylistically, and I'll not know until I get in there, until the fight happens. But all these girls are tough. It's going to be, every fight's going to be, a test, and nothing's going to be easy at this level.
Mark, go ahead.
Hey, how you doing? You talked earlier on there about the success of Northern Ireland in MMA. There's also been a lot of sort of success generally for women in sport, for Irish women in sport recently. Kelly Harrington at the Olympics, Bethany Firth, Luna McGuire at the golf, and obviously Katie Taylor generally in the boxing. I mean, does that sort of inspire you that you sort of can take your place among those fellow female sportswomen?
Yeah, it's great to see so many Northern Irish females doing so well, and Katie, all over Ireland. There's so many great female athletes, and it's great to be a part of that movement, and hopefully inspiring younger girls to look up to these girls, and to want to be athletes, and they can see that there is opportunity, there's careers, going down this route, rather than the kind of trend that is. Kind of pushing young girls away from that at the minute. So I'd love to see all the great females being so successful and getting good media coverage, and hopefully inspiring the next generation.
Yeah, that profile you've all got is raising more and more all the time, isn't it?
Yeah, I feel so. I feel like it is, and I feel like there's more interest in female athletes and female sport, and people are giving them the recognition they deserve.
We'll take a couple more here. David? David, go ahead. All right, we'll move on here. Kobe, go ahead.
Hi, Leah. Kobe from the Pro Sports Podcasters in Canada. Good to meet you.
Hi.
Now, you're facing Jessica Borga, and all of her professional wins have come in the first round. Do you expect her to come out extremely aggressive as a result of that?
I don't know. Her last fight, she didn't come out too aggressive. I think she'll probably be wary again of my clinch game. Maybe it does depend on the night, doesn't it? It just depends what way she's going to come out. But whether she's aggressive or whether she's not, I'm prepared for both.
Bobby, go ahead.
Hi, Leah. Bobby from MMA UK. So obviously this is a huge opportunity for you. You're going to be in the co-main event, not just that, in London as well, which is going to be huge. You'll definitely have the crowd behind you. How much are you looking forward to that walkout, and sort of how are you going to go about dealing with, the pressure of having all those people supporting you in the crowd?
It's, to be honest, like whether there's 10,000 in the arena or nobody, like the only focus is my opponent, and I can take in the crowd after the event. And obviously Dublin's different. When you walk out in Dublin, it's just crazy, but I definitely I'm used to it. Every fight I've had has been on big stages. I don't know what it's like not having all this craziness, and pressure surrounding it. So but this time I really want to enjoy it and take in this experience and just enjoy the position I'm in. And Jim always laser focused on the night, just go into the zone. I'll definitely take it in afterwards, celebrating.
It's great to hear. Best of luck on the night.
Thanks.
And last one here, Mark, go ahead.
Yeah, just a final one. Just I suppose a touch again on the preparations for the fight. I know there's maybe some complications or some challenges in the preparations for your last fight. Has it been a bit smoother this time?
Yeah, definitely. I've been, my camp's been consistent. This time I have had less injuries and a lot more mat time, and I feel a lot more comfortable and definitely prepared going into this. I still showed up and fought in that last fight, but definitely the circumstances weren't ideal.
All right, that wraps it up here. Thank you very much for the time, Leah, and good luck on Friday.
Thank you.
The recording has stopped. This meeting is being recorded.
All right, we are now being joined by Charlie Leary. Begin with a few questions from our media. Luke Kelly, your line is now live.
Hey, Charlie. Luke from Empire Universe Podcast. How are you doing so far?
Oh, I'm good. Thank you, mate. How are you?
Not too good.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm just kidding with you. I'm good.
That's all right. That's all right.
So originally you were supposed to fight Gavin Hughes.
Yep.
And, you pretty much had 15 days to prepare for Ben. Any similarities or opponents that have made it easier to transition and prepare for this fight?
You know what? I've had quite a long career, and I've learned over that period that you can't focus too much on your opponent because a few things happen. One, obviously, like this happens, someone pulls out at last minute and you've had a late replacement. And two, I find that fighters improve and they progress and stuff. So they're not always the same fighter that you've been watching all that time and things like that. So I feel like I progress each fight and I've changed. So all I do is focus on what I want to improve on and where I go in my fights. And that way it doesn't matter who the opponent is. It doesn't matter what happens or if anything falls out last minute. I'm always prepared, or I feel like I'm 100% prepared for a fight, to fight anyone. So
Good luck on Friday.
Thank you very much.
Bobby, go ahead.
Hi, Charlie. Bobby from MMA UK. Your last fight was back in October of 2020, so just shy of a year. I think 2 days shy come the event.
Yeah, 2 days, yeah.
Your opponent has fought 3 times in 2021. Do you feel like your opponent's activity throughout the year could be something that works against you, or are you going to be going in there without losing a step?
I think I've made improvements over the year. Don't get me wrong, having the year out has been hard, but I feel like I've actually used the time quite well to make improvements, train sensibly and getting some real high level training in with just pros and stuff like that, some of the good guys. So I feel like I haven't really missed a step. I did see that my opponent looked like he'd retired after his last fight. So I think he's already possibly looking for a way out. He was looking to retire. So I'm just going to prove that I'm levels above him and make him realise that's why he was retiring.
Lovely. Be cheering for you, mate. Enjoy.
Thank you, mate. Appreciate it.
Donna, go ahead.
Hey, Charlie. How's it going?
Hi, I'm good. Thank you.
Is there any part of you that's a little bit disappointed that obviously Kiefer went and lost his last fight and now has been released from Bellator? Is there a little part of you that's a bit sad that you're not able to do that rematch? Because, of course, I thought it was a fair stoppage, but a lot of people didn't.
I'm a bit disappointed that I haven't had the momentum off of that fight, because I felt like it was a great fight. It was really exciting. It was a good win for me. But, I mean, I've got closure on that. I feel like I won the fight quite convincingly. So I'm not worried about the rematch or anything like that. I'm just focused on progressing myself and getting a good win streak going for Bellator and trying to break into that top 10.
Of course, the inactivity is tough, and you were out for a long while. If you get a good win here, is there a chance you might try to force your way, maybe a late replacement fight or something, onto this Dublin card in a month and a half's time?
Mate, every chance. You know what I mean? If I can come out of this fight unscathed, then there's no reason why I can't be an alternate or step in. Like I say, the Pitbull fight was one that I was asking for beforehand. So either Quealy or Pitbull drop out, there's always a chance I'll step in. But I don't think you can look too far ahead. I've got Benjamin on Friday night, and I could win convincingly, but get hurt, and it doesn't happen anyway. So I've just got to focus on getting the win on Friday night, and that's all that matters right now.
Jay, go ahead.
Charlie, welcome back. The Crosby fight was mentioned once or twice now, and I'm just wondering if you saw your own profile change after that, given he was a fairly well-known figure, and at the time he'd only had the one loss.
Yeah. To start with, yes, I think the lockdowns and stuff like that absolutely just killed it again. It sent me into a bit of a depression, to be honest, because I felt like I was just starting to get some recognition. I was having a lot of interviews. Things was progressing, and then all of a sudden we got locked down again, and it kind of just put me on the back burner. Everyone forgot about it. Crosby went and fought again, and no one's really talking about me anymore. So I felt like it had started, but I think I've got to go out there and prove that I'm up there in this fight, and everyone will remember that then.
You talk about that bit of depression during the lockdown with your momentum kind of derailing. What was key to getting through that, and how impacted were you in terms of even training camp for this fight?
For this fight, it was okay. I was back in shape and training pretty well for this fight. I've had one of the lads was fighting a few months ago, so I was helping him prepare and stuff like that. So I wasn't too bad for this fight. But over Christmas and the New Year, it impacted me badly, really badly. I was depressed, got out of shape, bit fed up. I'm pretty much like everyone, I think. But just having my family there, my wife, my 2 kids and stuff, helped me through it, and obviously made me realise I need to knuckle down and get back in shape and push and make this worthwhile. My coaches and my team are always a massive help. They drag me out of any sticky situations and depressions and stuff quite easily. And getting back on the mats again was superb. I mean, the trouble was we'd got locked down for a while, and then it was the pros were allowed to train, but the gym that we train at had shut and wouldn't let us train there. So we was lucky that one of our guys, Martin Hudson, had got a place in High Wycombe. So it was a lot of travelling, a lot of hard work, a lot of hours put in to get the training in, but it was well worth it because, like I say, I got a lot of high level pro training in, got to concentrate on what I wanted to improve on, and I feel like I've done that in massive amounts.
Well, good to see you back. Best of luck this weekend.
Cheers, mate.
Kobe, go ahead.
Hi, Charlie. Kobe from Pro Sports Podcasters in Canada. I'm just wondering if you feel like you're back to where you were before the lockdown, or do you feel like you've improved since then?
I know. I feel like I've improved. I really do feel like I've improved. I thought I was doing well before the lockdown. Like I say, I'd gone into a bit of a downward spiral, but since then, since like the new year, I've been really pushing hard to make improvements in my whole aspect of my game. Do you know what I mean? Not only in the training aspect and one situation, but the training, the recovery, the food, everything. I've been trying to make improvements, and I feel like I've done that. I feel great right now. Can't wait for Friday night and just to show everyone how much more improvements I've made.
That's great. Looking forward to your fight, buddy.
Thank you, mate. Appreciate it.
Andreas, go ahead.
Hey, Charlie. This is Andreas speaking from Fighting DE. Your opponent, Benjamin Brander, is well known in the German-speaking MMA scene. What do you know about the German-speaking market? Is there anything in particular you know?
Not really, mate. Not much at all.
Okay, maybe he can show you something about the German-speaking scene then. Have you watched any tape on him already?
You know what? The only tape I'd really seen was the Chris Bungard fight, because he fought Chris Bungard after I fought him. So I'd watched that fight, but I don't think that's a true reflection on how he performs and stuff, because he'd taken that last minute as well. And Bungard's a high level guy, you know what I mean? But I haven't seen that much tape on him. I'm expecting an in shape all round martial artist. I think he's decent everywhere. If you look at his record, he's a dangerous guy. He only fought a few weeks ago, so he's going to be in shape. It's not like he's just coming straight off the couch. So I'm expecting the best Benjamin Brander that there's been, and I'm expecting a tough fight.
Well, and in addition to that, there is no such thing as MMA mathematics, right? So
exactly that.
Yeah. What kind of fight do you expect?
I expect him to try and keep it standing. I'm expecting him to try and counter my aggressive style. But I think I'm just going to be too much for him everywhere. Do you know what I mean? I think I overwhelm him by the middle of the fight. I think he's going to have had enough.
Rahul, go ahead. Rahul? All right, we'll move on here. Next up is Ty.
Hello, you all right, mate?
Hello, mate. You all right?
Yeah, I'm good. So, what have you learnt from your last fight with Kiefer Crosby?
What have I learned?
Yeah.
Not to get hit by his left hook. He's probably one of the good ones. No, I think I've learned more mentally as well. I think from that, I think I've got to believe in myself a little bit more. I think I've got to stick to my boxing and stuff like that a little bit. I think I was getting my jab off and stuff against Kiefer, and I just started shutting the distance a little bit too early. That's when letting him catch me with that shot. And like I say, mentally wise, I've got to just believe in myself and have a little bit more confidence in myself.
Last one here, Ronald.
This is Ronald E. Smith from Getting Real. Charlie, I just want to walk back to on how you were so open about explaining about where you were earlier last year during your depression. Yeah. And a lot of athletes and more people don't feel like athletes should be so open about these feelings, about what they feel through it. So why are you so comfortable allowing yourself to be so open about where you once were back when?
You know what? I think it's a dangerous road to go on if you are bottling stuff up and hiding it away. I think everyone should be more open and if you're having a bad time, talk about it, man. There's people that are there to help you all the time. Like I say, my family, my team, they're always there to drag me out of trouble and keep me. And I don't mean like trouble as in like criminal trouble or anything like that, but mentally it's troubling and things. And I think there's this stigma around, especially about with fighting, where you should be the tough guy, you shouldn't let this go, and you shouldn't let people know about that. But I think it's a tough mental sport as well. And if you don't talk about it sometimes and you don't open up about it, it's hard for you. Do you know what I mean? It's a downward spiral. And if I can help one person by talking and letting them know that I was depressed and it's difficult, but you can come out of it, I help one person with that, then that's great. If I keep it quiet and don't say anything, then I don't help anyone, do I? Not even myself. So.
All right, Charlie. Thanks very much for the time.
No, anytime, mate. Thank you.
The recording has stopped.
We'll be joined shortly by Robert Whiteford. If anyone has a question, please raise your hand. Thank you. All right, we are now being
This
joined by Robert
meeting is
Whiteford.
being recorded.
We'll begin with a few questions from our media. Bobby, go ahead.
Hi, Robert. Bobby from MMA UK. So you're currently on a 4-fight win streak, obviously going to be looking for a 5th. With a run like that at this point in your career, would a return to the UFC ever be something you'd be interested in, or at this point you feel like you might have found a new home in Bellator?
I hope I found a new home in Bellator. I've only fought once for them. This is the second on Friday night. Seem to have treated me really well. Nothing to complain about. So if it all goes to plan, I'd like to finish out my career at Bellator. I think after this fight, I've got another 2 on the contract. So I'm happy to see this contract out and get a new one with Bellator, and hopefully bring the UFC bring the Bellator to Scotland.
I would look forward to seeing that. Good luck in the fight.
Cheers.
Ty Matthews, your line is now live.
You're all right, mate?
All right.
Yeah, I'm good. So, obviously, before you used to fight for the UFC, and now you came Bellator. How would you compare the two promotions?
You ever see when you were young and you had like 2 aunties or 2 grands, and you went to one that was really strict and liked to control everything you done, then you went to the other one and you really got to do what the fuck you want. That's what it seems like with Bellator. I get to do what the fuck I want. I turn up, they treat me well in a fight, and that's it. I go home. End of story.
What do you want after this fight? Do you have any idea if you win this, what you want next?
I just said to the other guy, asked me a question in an interview. I've got 2 fights left in this contract. Ideally, I'd love to renegotiate after this second fight, after I knock Andrew on Friday night. Hopefully that would put me in a good position. If not, I'll see out the contract and renegotiate it at the end. But I'm happy where I'm at Bellator, and it's always good to earn a little extra money. So I'd like to get that contract bumped up.
And lastly, what level do you feel you are on as a mixed martial artist, do you feel you're at the highest level you can be at Bellator? Do you feel you can make it to the top?
You can only go with your fights. I'm not the judge of what you guys look at. So you judge me on my performance, and going by my performances, I'd say I'm at the top pretty much already. There's some tough competition in Bellator, and people like to compare organisations to other organisations, but every organisation's got dangerous guys right throughout. So you be the judge of what level I'm on.
Donna, go ahead.
Robert, it feels like Andrew has been around the sort of UK MMA scene for a while. How much of him do you know? And of course, obviously, his last fight was in Bellator as well. But how much of him have you seen, and how do you feel he stacks up against you on Friday night?
He actually fought one of my friends last time out in Bellator, actually, Grimshaw. Prior to that, he'd fought in a few shows I've fought on. I've seen him fight a few times. Seems pretty tough, good all-rounder, comes to fight. Not one of those guys you need to go chasing. He's going to be standing there in the middle, pretty much pushing forward all the time, so I'll not have to go chasing him for a fight Friday night, I know that. Strangely enough, he's cornered a few times against me, so he actually probably knows more about me than I know about him, because you can watch somebody in television or you can watch somebody in a crowd. You don't really get the picture until you're either in there with them or you're part of a corner team that you're against a fighter. And he's been against me a few times, so he'll probably know more about me firsthand than I know about him. So I'm just looking forward to fighting. It wouldn't matter if it was Andrew Fisher or anybody else there on Friday night. I'm just looking forward to fighting. It's been 2 years out with this pandemic going on, and it's been pretty much a nightmare. So I'm just looking forward. I'm more excited just to be here fight week and get to fight on Friday night. So that's mostly what I'm looking forward to and paying attention to.
Do you believe that a win on Friday night sends you into the featherweight top 10? Of course, one of Daniel Weichel or Pedro Carvalho will be coming off of a loss in a couple of weeks, so they'll probably drop out of the rankings. Do you believe that a win here will put you into them?
Who knows? Who controls the rankings? I don't know. Again, it's not my job to put me in there. As I say, I'm just going to go in there, keep fighting, keep knocking people out, keep winning, and where you land in the rankings, that's totally up to you guys or whoever decides that. It's not something I've ever really looked too much into his rankings. It doesn't really affect your paycheck. It doesn't really affect much in my life where I'm at. So as long as I perform to my best of my ability, then I'll land where I land in the rankings.
Andrew, go ahead.
Hi, Robert. Nice to speak to you. You mentioned there about, it's been nearly, 2 years since you fought last. You also had a lot of contract disputes in your previous organization. Mm-hmm. How do you keep motivated at the level to get that and then to come back and give what I think was one of your best performances then against Sam Cecilia when you have so much time?
It's crazy. So I've had time out competing, but I've not had time out training. That's my life. That's my lifestyle. I've got another young training partner, Chris Duncan, who was signed to Bellator as well, and he's hungrier than ever. He's 7-0 at the moment. There's never one day I don't get a message for him or he's late for training. The last 6 to 7 years, he's never let me down once. And when I was younger coming up, I was that guy chasing the older guys, and you felt like you could never let them down. So it's like, I've not even got a choice if I want to go to training or no. I can't let him down. I make myself accountable, and he's my main training partner. So I never let him down. He never lets me down. So I've always been in the gym. I've never been out the gym. It's just I've not been competing. That's it. But I'm still training as hard as ever. It's a part of my life. So it's a lifestyle. It's not something I just dip my toe in and out of.
Cheers. Thanks a lot, Robert. Best of luck this weekend.
Cheers.
James, go ahead. James, are you there?
Don't think James is there.
Move on here. Jay Anderson, go ahead.
Thanks very much, and welcome back, Robert. You did mention the time away, and I'm just wondering, because a lot of fighters say that there is nothing that equals, live fight experience. Do you feel that you're able to keep at your best just training in the gym?
Probably not, to be honest. I think most fighters if they're honest enough, will say you're better when you're active all the time. But it's not like a fight. It's not like a fight at a 10 and a gun in the gym and I drop to a 6. I'm always hovering about firing on all cylinders. So there is a little bit of a difference, maybe sharpness and stuff like that. But you know, I don't think it's that important as long as you're training consistently and level-headed like I'm on. I mean, wouldn't matter to me if you were in here in this hotel room fighting or the Wembley Arena on Friday night. You're still going to get the same fight of me turning up. I'm no one that gets affected by anything outside of that. So it doesn't really make a difference to me where I fight or how often or that. But ideally, I'd like to be more active, and that would probably push my performance up a little bit. But hey, what can you do? Everybody's been in the same boat recently, and I can only fight as I'm allowed to, the pandemic going on and stuff.
Absolutely. And, you mentioned Chris Duncan. How heartbreaking was it to see that fight fall through yesterday?
So Chris has been on the messenger to me back and forth, and as I've said before, he's been my main training partner for the last 5 to 6 years. So I've seen him nurture and grow right through, and he was signed to Bellator just before he had his opportunity in Dana White's Contender series last night. And the guy missed weight by 4.5 pounds. So then he was telling me about that, and I was like, listen, don't worry about it. I was like, you're going to get paid extra, and it looks worse than him. If anything, it just makes you look better. It's not like you're going to say I'm not fighting. So if anything, it's shining a better light than you. Then he texts me back like an hour later saying the guy's pulled out. And I was like, cool, even better. You've been paid money for nothing. You've been paid for a weight cut. I was like, no doubt they'll get you rescheduled. And it puts him in a unique position, because in the UFC or Bellator or any of these big organisations, it's pretty hard to stand out when you're coming up as a new guy. So he's in a unique position with a unique story, and I don't think there's any shade can be shown on him when he goes out there in eventual performance and gets his win. If anything, it just makes him look better. So I think it's put him actually in a better position than he was in. Maybe not for him, because he obviously wants to fight, but in the bigger old scheme of thing, I always tell him to look at the bigger picture. You've got to stay positive, and I think everything's going to work out great for him. He'll be just fine.
Andrew, go ahead.
Hopefully the result goes your way this weekend. Bellator comes back to Dublin in November. Is that something you'd be interested in joining the card on that? And who would you like to face on that?
I think I said to Bellator this week, I think I said to Jude the matchmaker, if anybody falls out around about my weight class, and they'd want me to a catch weight, because I wouldn't be cutting down to 146 again that quick. Fucking hell. So if anybody pulls out around my weight class and they're up to a catch weight, I'd be more than eager to jump on and get paid again and get to scrap so soon. And I've fought an Ireland before, and the crowd's been amazing, so I'd look forward to it.
James, go ahead.
Hello, can you hear me now?
Hear you now, aye.
Hiya. So James Lee Hart, MMA Ireland. You've mentioned that it was 2 years since you've last been out there. Has the long layoff, is it that motivating you to just get in there and just fight, basically?
Really, it's pissed me off more than anything. I've been doing no interviews, no social media, nothing. And if anybody's seen me about this hotel this week, I've been like a bear with a beanie's mouth. I'm just not happy at all. I'm looking forward more to fighting than anything, just getting in there and making that walk and getting to fight. But as usual, I turn up to fight week full of beans, happy to be here. But I just feel like something's got to go wrong. The way the world's going right now, I'll not believe it till I get to that walk. So I'm probably a bit anxious and eager to I'm just concentrating on the fight. It's like I've got blinkers running. I'm not really paying attention to anything else that's going on. I just want to get in there and fight. It's pissed me off it's took this long. So I'm not enjoying fight week as I usually would, because I'm more focused on fighting. I just want to get in there. It just seems like something's going to happen. I'm just waiting on it. But hopefully everything goes to plan and I make that walk.
Yeah, certainly. I look forward to seeing you Friday night. Thank you.
Cheers, mate. Thanks.
Kobe?
Hi, Robert. Kobe, Pro Sports Podcasters. Considering the layoff, has it been a tough management of weight? Is it a tough cut this time or no?
Nah, as I've just said in a previous interview, it's like a lifestyle for me. It's not like I'm in and out of shape or I'm overweight ever. If you look at any of my social media posts or my life in general, you'll see I'm a pretty active guy. I'm always in shape. I'm never out of shape. And the weight cut's just a pain in the arse, the same as any other one. It's not like one's easier or one's worse. It's just, you just want to get over and done with it. It's just shite, innit? It's, if you've ever done one, you'd know what I'm talking about. I'm on track to make weight. I'm sitting here now probably 6 or 7 pounds over, so I'll be happy tomorrow if you to speak to me this time tomorrow.
And stylistically, it looks like the two of you match up real well. This could be kind of a fireworks type fight. You've mentioned fight of the night a few times. You plan to go out there and really bring it to him?
Well, I don't even think I need to bring it to him, because the way he fights, he marches forward anyway. He's on the front foot all the time, so I'm not going to need to go and look for him. So I'm going to plant my feet in the middle, and I think he's just going to plant his feet, and we'll see what happens. But I know if I connect and I land on him, his lights are going to go out. I know that for a fact. If you've seen any of my fights, I'm not shy to getting hit, and I'm not shy to getting put in my ass either. But one thing, I get back up. Anybody I've ever connected with, except for Dan Elkins, has went down. So I'm pretty confident in my hands. I'm pretty confident if I land 1 or 2 shots, it's going to do
right on, mate.
Manage than he's going to do than me.
Right on. Looking forward to it.
Cheers, mate.
Mills.
Hey, how's it going, Robert? This is MMA Locker Room here.
All right.
I have a question for you. They always say, you are who you practice with, you are who you train with. Coming out of American Top Team, you train with some of the best MMA athletes out there. Do you guys derive a specific game plan for Fisher, or do you just prioritize your weapons and just try to focus on you?
Well, if you'd done your research, you would know we can't travel to America in this pandemic, so I've had to do it back here home in Scotland. It's the first training camp in, I think, 6 or 7 years that I've not been over at American Top Team for a camp. But again, I know I'm confident in my abilities, and if I turn up and fight night, all I need to do is perform to their abilities. So it wouldn't matter really where I train. I suppose it's much better if I'm training away from home in the sun, surrounded by world-class facility. But I've been here, I've been at my local boxing club, I've been at my local MMA club back in Scotland, basically back to my roots, just training as hard as ever. And as I've said before, Chris Duncan's one of my main training partners, and he's a handful on his own, and it's worked out. We're fighting both at the same week, so we've been pushing each other all the way through this fight camp. So it's the first time I've done one in Scotland in a while, but honestly I've not felt any different. If anything, I've enjoyed being in my own bed a little bit more.
All right, Robert, thank you very much for the time. Good luck on Friday.
Cheers, thanks.
The recording has stopped.
Done and dusted.
Next up is Jessica Borga. If you have a question for Jessica, please press the raise hand button at the bottom of your screen.
This meeting is being recorded.
All right, we are now being joined by Jessica Borga. We'll begin with a few questions from our media. Luke Kelly, your line is now live.
Hey, Jessica, it's Luke from Empire Universe Podcast. Good to see you again.
Good to see you too.
So, how has Leah McCourt been different from your past opponents?
Honestly, not really much difference at all. I mean, she's definitely a game opponent. She's higher in the rankings, but I mean, I don't see her much different than much of any other opponents that I've had.
Perfect. Thank you so much, and good luck on Friday.
Thank you.
Bobby, go ahead.
Hi, Jessica. Bobby from MMA UK. Obviously, fighting in the co-main event in front of a live crowd in London, which is always a very lively crowd. How do you think you're going to go about dealing with that pressure, especially from a crowd that's probably going to be pretty pro Leah?
Honestly, I'm so used to it, but I actually feed off the crowd, even when I'm the one booed. I've always done really well off of that. It doesn't faze me at all. It actually makes me even more excited, to be honest with you. So I'm excited about it.
Great to hear. Well, welcome to London and best of luck on Friday.
Thank you.
Kobe.
Hi, Jessica. Kobe, Pro Sports Podcasters. So yeah, like you mentioned, you're probably going to be the opponent in this one, and that fires you up, which is nice. But how's your camp gone? And what have you done preparation wise over there?
Honestly, we've stepped it up even more. I had amazing people be able to come and help me with this fight camp to get me well-rounded and ready for anything. I'm very grateful for the people that came and helped me, Jillian Robinson and the UFC. Multiple people that are, really good at what they do came and helped me. So I feel completely ready for whatever she's got for me.
Right on. Looking forward to it.
Ronald, go ahead.
This is Ronald E. Smith from Getting Real. Hello, Jessica. How you doing?
I'm doing great.
As you go into this fight, you are fighting against someone very high in the rankings, and as we spoke to Leah before, she's gave you nothing but the utmost respect. But there's always a challenge when going against people that high. Do you feel like you're going in there with nothing to lose, as in just go in there and do your best without any pressure, as she has pressure for herself fighting in her home country?
Absolutely. Actually, I've got nothing to lose, really. In any of the fights, I've always tried to do, the best I can. I always rise to the occasion and the opportunity. So I know that, I'm actually kind of surprised that you said that she gave me the utmost respect, because there was a couple things that I saw on social media that I didn't think that was very respectful. But for the most part, I respect anyone that gets in the cage. So I respect her as an opponent. But I'm ready for this fight.
Jenna?
Jessica, you made your, I suppose, debut, you could say, in the WWE a few months ago. Can you tell us how that came about, and if it's something that you would like to pursue in future?
Honestly, it was just a fun little thing that happened on the side. I had a friend that is big in there within the media and stuff, part of the WWE. And Bobby Lashley needed some girls, which is not my normal, character, I guess you could say. But so I thought it'd be a fun little thing to do on the side, and it was a great opportunity as well. But they wanted me back, and I didn't want to do that. That's fighting first, but it was just a fun little side thing.
And what did Roy Jones Jr. tell you when you met him yesterday?
He's amazing. He is so humble. He told me to showcase. He's excited to see. So I'm hoping that he's going to be in the crowd.
Ty, go ahead.
Hello, you all right, Jessica?
I'm doing fantastic.
Now, does being the underdog in this fight faze you at all?
No, honestly, my entire career, if you looked at my amateur, my 10 amateur fights I did in 2 years, my entire pro career, I've always been, I guess it's become my character pretty much, that I am the underdog. I am the one that's always underestimated. I am the one that goes into enemy territory, even though I know she's from Ireland. It's not technically the same, but it's not that far away. I traveled further, so technically enemy territory-ish. She's going to be the one more liked over here, and I understand that. But I'm totally used to it, and I actually I feed off of it now, so I like it.
What does Leah bring that you feel will be a trouble, and what you can exploit?
She does well under pressure. I think that she's a well-rounded opponent. We're both brown belts in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, so it's a good matchup, and I really like it. I like to rise to the occasion.
Well, thank you for answering, Jessica, and best of luck with your fight.
Thank you.
Don, go ahead.
Hello, Jessica. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
This is Don Gallegos from MMA LA Media Group. With you coming out with a nothing to lose mentality, what type of tempo are you looking to establish early on?
I'm gonna come out ready to go. I'm gonna be fast but accurate, smart.
Santiago.
Hi, Jessica. Greetings from Amsterdam. Thank you for the time. The
Absolutely.
Bellator MMA featherweight division is being praised because it's filled with great talents and proven veterans. Can you shine your light on this featherweight division? It's good, right?
Absolutely. There's a lot of opportunity. That's one of the reasons why I moved up to the 45 division. There's a handful of talent, and I'm excited to be able to showcase with each one of them, as many as I can.
Good luck on fight night, Jessica.
Thank you.
Last one here, Mills.
Hey, Jessica, how's it going? It's MMA Locker Room, part of Pub Sports Radio.
Going awesome.
All right. So I got a question for you. I looked at the whole card. You're the only American on the card. How do you feel it's going to be to put out and, to put on for Florida? How do you feel to represent for us out there?
I'm excited about that. I'm representing my entire country. So, and to be the only one, it's, there's really no pressure. I'm excited. I'm excited.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much for the time, Jessica. Good luck on Friday.
Thank you.
The recording has stopped.
Just a friendly reminder, if you have a question for Luke, please press the raise hand button at the bottom of your screen. All right, we are now being joined by
This
Luke
meeting
Trainer.
is being recorded.
We'll begin with a few questions from our media. Jay Anderson, your line is now live.
Hey, thanks very much. And Luke, welcome back. Just to start things off, talk to me about this matchup with Yannick. Obviously, a fair bit more experience with yourself, but I'm sure you're more than prepared for it.
How's it going, sir? Thank you for having me, everyone. Yeah, it's going to be a scrap. Like you said, Yannick is a more experienced opponent. The outcome, I don't believe, will change. It's going to be a war. I'm ready for a war. I've worked very hard for this fight. Yeah, I believe I'm going to finish Yannick within 15 minutes, but I'm looking forward to a scrap.
Obviously, you're the undefeated prospect coming into this, and I'm just curious how much pressure you put on yourself in terms of maintaining that perfect record.
No extra pressure than normal. Everything has stayed the same. I'm still as hungry as ever. I'm still on the exact same grind. In my opinion, I've accomplished nothing yet. This is just a start. I'm only 4-0, soon to be 5-0. So I've got a lot of work that needs to be done. This is another stepping stone, another human that's in my way. I'm fully focused, just as I was when I was 18, 19, having my first fight, as I am right now, 25, and as I will be when I retire on my last fight. I'm ready to go. I'm a savage, and I'm going to be a savage on Friday night.
Last one for me. How important was your amateur run to your career? Because obviously you racked up quite a bit of experience as an amateur.
Yes, so I had 10 fights, which in the UK, that's quite rare to do. I had 10 fights and 25 pull-outs. So the goal was to have 20 fights and then go pro. I wanted to be one of the most experienced light heavyweights, one of the most experienced UK MMA fighters going through that amateur roster. But big guys are few and far between, and there's a lot of wet wipes in the UK who tend to pull out last minute. So my amateur career, I'm very blessed that I was able to have 10 fights. It's not as experienced as I would have liked to be, but it served me well. I had a lot of different tests. I faced a lot of different opponents, and I do believe it set me up for a nice pro run. And now I'll just gain that experience on the pro scene, which I think will benefit me more.
Dana?
Luke, coming into this fight, now, I didn't know this was an emotion that necessarily you were able to have, but you seemed almost angry when there wasn't like a match for you after a couple of months, especially when you had offered to be an alternate in the tournament. Are you now back happy with Bellator and everything is good on that end?
I don't feel the type of way about saying this. I was fuming, sir. I wasn't angry. I was fuming. I had painted, and maybe it was a false pretense in my own head. I have nothing but love for Bellator. I'm so grateful that they've given me this opportunity, and I pray after my contract is done after this fight, we can work it out and I'll re-sign and I'll continue to build a legacy with Bellator. But I painted a pretense in my head and thought, right, they've built me up to be this prospect. I've worked so hard to gain a contract. Yeah, there's no fights in the UK, but there are fights in the States, and there's European guys going out to the States. I'll be going out to the States. When they didn't send me out and I had to wait another 12 months, I have such a chip on my shoulder about it. I don't know why they chose to do that. My management don't either, but you know what? They're giving me the opportunity now, and I'm very grateful for that. And I'm taking that chip on the shoulder as more fuel for the fire. So that's led up to an angry fight camp, but now there's nothing but love. And there was nothing but love from the start. And I think it's just in my own head. Maybe I'm painting a narrative that wasn't there. They just needed to get through their roster. But yeah, I was very, very angry. And I'm so grateful to Bellator now for giving me a fight. I want to relay that message. Thank you, everyone. Jude, Scott Coker, Mike Hogan, everyone else behind Bellator. And I'm hoping I put on a great performance. I put this guy away violently, and they're forced to give me another fight because the crowd wants me again. That's that is my belief and that's my hope. And I want to be as active as possible after this fight.
Of course, you got your contract with Bellator through the Euro Fight Night competition. John Kavanagh and Kadu ran that tournament. Do you feel like you're on a scale of like 1 to 10, 10 being the contract is signed, sealed, delivered, 1 being, you're absolutely not going to be re-signing. Where do you feel you are with Bellator at the moment?
No, I'm very confident I'm going to re-sign with Bellator. I absolutely love Bellator. I don't want my last comments to put a spanner in that works.
No, of course, obviously.
I'm a very sensitive human, like a lot of fighters are. I'm very sensitive, and when I think something has been done wrong against me, or maybe I've pissed someone off or upset someone, I hold that personally to my chest. So yeah, please don't take that in any respect. But I pray that Bellator want to continue working with me. I love it here. The staff have been nothing but beautiful to me. This is life-changing money for me, and the experience is life-changing. And the level and caliber of the opponents is exactly what I want. I would hate to have to go back to the regional circuit and have to work my way up for opponents who I believe I shouldn't be in there with. I want to be tested. I want nothing but smoke, and that's what I'm getting at Bellator. So, I mean, I don't ever want to say 100% because you never know what's going to happen, and I can't speak for Bellator, but I want nothing more than to sign with Bellator after this fight.
All right, best of skill on Friday night, man. I really hope you get a big win.
Thank you, sir.
Bobby, go ahead.
Hi, Luke. Bobby from MMA UK. So you already touched upon this a little bit before. Obviously, Yannick is a very experienced guy. You know, he's fought some names like Mike Shipman, Dricus du Plessis, Melvin Manoff. How much of a step up in competition do you see this fight as?
It is a step up. This human is very experienced. You know, he's 9-5, and he's fought some of the best fighters in the UK and some of the best fighters in the world. You know, Dricus du Plessis, I've trained with him myself out in South Africa, and I know how much of a monster he is. So it is a step up on opponents, and on paper he is very experienced, and he is a dangerous human regardless. He's a savage. That's why I'm so excited about this fight. But I've had hard nights in my past before. Just in terms of MMA, I fought 3 fights, 3 humans in one night. And I destroyed each human. So I did exactly what I had to do. That was a hard night for me. That was a hard night of fights, to go in there and fight 3 human beings and then finish my last fight the way I did against a scary guy who had knocked out his last guys all in 30 seconds each round. So that was a difficult one for me. But on paper, this is my most experienced opponent, and in my belief, this has the highest chance of being a war. I've said it the entire fight camp. I'm ready to come home with my shield, or I'm ready to go home on my shield. But I expect nothing but violence. And this guy's not just going to fall over when I hit him. He's going to come for war, and I'm ready for war.
Andy?
Hi, Luke. Nice to speak to you.
What's happening, sir?
Probably more important than your fight this week, is Cooking with the Gent going to come back?
yeah. Let's go. Yeah, I think so, man. I miss it. I miss it if I'm honest, and even now I still get messages. Thank you for taking me out of that mindset for a month. Yeah, I've got a few recipes up my sleeve. I'm ready to shock the world with some more culinary magic. But let's do that after the fight. But I'm ready, man. Yeah, the people want it, and I have to give the people what they want at the end of the day. So yeah, Cooking with a Gent episode flipping 14, I think I'm on. It's coming. And I want to make it more regular. I know people are dying for it. People are starving of hunger right now because they don't know what to make. Your chef's coming back, my friends, all right? I'm sorry I haven't been away.
Yep. The world's most terrifying chef is something that I think you could definitely move into. And finally, as well, as someone who is 6'6" and for some mad reason is able to make 205 pounds, with your skill set, do you look at that heavyweight division and think there's definitely, that's where I see my future?
I've mentioned it a couple of times this week on some interviews. I am 100% going to go to heavyweight. I will 100% hold 2 world titles at heavyweight. The cut is getting trickier. It's okay. You know, I pride myself on my discipline, so I've made this weight no problem. And I can continue to do that for a good few years. But I see no reason why I can't take some fights at heavyweight and do light heavyweight at the same time. Jump from back and forth. And once my body's fully developed, once I hit that sort of 28 to 32 range, I'll begin my major reign at heavyweight. But I believe that's in my future. And whether I do that mix and match between light heavy and heavy now, or whether I just wait until the time's right. But yeah, I can't wait, man. Pack on the muscle and just chill. I can have steaks the night before a fight. It's going to be a beautiful thing, rather than flipping rice cakes and raw salmon or whatever I've got tonight.
Packing on the pounds with the Gent.
Oi, cooking with a gent. What? Time to get thick, boys.
Pleasure to speak to you, Luke, man. Best of luck this weekend.
Thank you, Andy. Cheers, brother.
Kobe, go ahead.
Hi, Luke. Kobe from Pro Sports Podcasters in Canada. Now, given that both you and your opponents are from England, have you actually seen Yannick fight before or no?
Yeah. Oh, I never live. But
okay.
I've actually, I've watched his fights for a while, and from my end at least, I don't know how he feels, but from my end, there's so much mutual respect there. He's trained with my team before. I was actually out on the day he come in, but he's trained with my team. I know he's friends with some of my teammates. I've watched some interviews of him really opening up about his life and about his personal life and his fight life and how raw he was, and I respect that completely. I'm friends with some of his teammates. I've got nothing but respect, and he's a savage, like I said. And in terms of UK guys, big guys, he comes for violence every time. So I've never watched him live. I've watched him online, and I've got nothing but respect for the human.
And you're undefeated, and you've made a point of wanting to keep that going, of course. But what I like is the fact that you say you don't just want to win, you want to win impressively. That's something you don't usually hear from an undefeated fighter. How important is it for you to actually go out and really perform every time?
So yeah, for me, it's everything. I want to go out. If I come away with a decision and I've played it safe, what have I done? We're in the fight business. We're in the business of trying to hurt each other. This is I pride myself on living a life now of a modern day gladiator. Do you know what I mean? I'm a shogun. So it's not time for tippy tap and all that jazz. It's time to go in there, tuck your chin, and try and hurt each other. So yeah, again, that's why I'm excited about this scrap. I know I pray he's not gonna try and play it safe, and he's not just gonna try and take me down and conserve his energy. He might, and I'm ready for that too. But I think we're gonna go in there and scrap, and it's what the fans want. It's what I want. Yeah, I can't wait. Man.
Right on.
Santiago.
Hi, Luke. Greetings from Amsterdam, and thank you for the time.
My man,
Yannick it's all good. Yannick fought against Melvin Manhoef, and he had a very tough night against the Dutchman. Did you watch this fight, Luke? And did you see things from Melvin that you want to use for yourself?
Not necessarily. He countered the kick very well. Obviously, Melvin Manhoef coming from a kickboxing background and being a glory legend, his instincts to counter every strike is there. He has that Dutch style where if you throw a leg kick, it better be set up with the hands or it better be sharp, and you better know you're doing it and expect a counter. Yannick didn't do that. Melvin capitalized and did what he does best. He got on top. I personally wouldn't have gone straight in, just because obviously Yannick would have had the experience on the ground, but he was already hurt from the shot. Melvin took advantage, and you saw what happened. But yeah, Melvin's a savage. I've been a big fan of him as well. Obviously, I'm still young in the game, and he's one of the legends now. So yeah, again, nothing but respect for him. In terms of takeaways, though, obviously he played his game and I've got mine. So tactics will change. We're very different fighters, but yeah, you can always take something away from each opponent and their opponents that they faced prior.
Look, last year I learned that you are helping out children who face very traumatic experience. I just wanted to say thank you for doing this. Good luck on fight night, sir.
My man, it's been a pleasure speaking to you. Thank you.
Ronald Smith.
This is Ronald E. Smith from Getting Real. Luke, just to walk back a bit, you talk about how you keep fighting on with a chip on your shoulder and how much you have belief in yourself. I just want to know, where does that come from? Is that from self-motivation, or have you learned that from other people around you who help lift you up?
It's a tricky one. I'm very disciplined. I'm a creature of habit, and I live with discipline. I was fortunate enough to grow up with two parents that absolutely love me, and they brought an ethos into the house where you have to work for what you want. You have to support your loved ones, and your loved ones will support you. So you do what you need to do, and they'll be proud of me regardless. I kind of lived my life with that and thought, cool, if I want something, I have to go out there and get it. I've done that since I was 18. I dedicated my life to this. I didn't live a life of a regular 18-year-old. I didn't live a life of a regular teenager into my early 20s. I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't do drugs. My life is fighting. And all I want in life is to help human beings and to be a savage in a cage. So when that's all I want, my focus is so easy to stay disciplined on that. I don't want anything else. So it's not hard for me to get up and go to the gym 4 times a day. If that's what I have to do, that's what I have to do. I'm self-motivated and self-critical because this is my life and I love it. And I'm grateful I get to live it. There's people out there who don't like their life, and I feel so much for them human beings, and I refuse to be one of them. So I'm getting to flip it and live my beautiful life each and every day, man.
Thank you very much.
So, Ty Matthews.
How are you doing, Luke?
Good, sir. How are you?
I'm good, mate. So I want to ask you something. How much progress have you made since you first started fighting, do you believe?
A lot. Since I first, like every fighter, since I first started, I think I had my first fight at 19. I was raw and I was in love with jiu-jitsu. I would rush for a takedown, choke him out, get up and do it again. In terms of my skill set, I've improved everywhere. But if I hadn't, I've been training for nearly 7 years now. So if I hadn't, I'd be stressed. But yeah, I'm a completely different savage and a completely different athlete to what I was when I first fought.
Now, you've had a few amateur fights before you started your pro career. Some fighters just jump right into the deep end. How do you feel fighting amateur helped you in your pro career so far?
It was massive. Shout out to my coaches who guided me with that. I started with Team Junk Boat with Mustafa Al-Turk. Then I moved over to Team Titan with Mickey Papas and Brad Pickett. And I was guided perfectly, I believe. Those 10 fights allowed me to build a skill set and a mentality that I needed to be ready for a pro scene. Now I'm pro. I was 3-0 and went straight to Bellator. Not many fighters do that. They build up, they get a bigger record, they have to get experience, they have to fight a striker, a wrestler, an overall MMA athlete. Me, I did that when I was an amateur. Now I'm ready for the big leagues and I can take on anyone in this division because of my amateur record and because of the way I was built up. So fighting as an amateur, for any athletes out there, for any MMA fighters out there who want to start, make sure you get your experience as an amateur and build. There's no rush to go pro. Build, and when you're ready, your time will come.
And lastly, do you have a message for your opponent, Yannick?
No, sir. No, he knows what he's doing. I know what I'm doing. Let's go to war.
Mills?
Hey, how's it going? It's the MMA Locker Room. Hey, Luke, I just want to tell you something. It seems like a lot of people are attracted to records and belts. But with you, you have this charismatic personality that just draws me straight to you. And I think a lot of people are going to find it easily to root for you out here. In this MMA business that we're in, it seems like the personality of a fighter really determines how much the crowd gets behind them. How do you feel the show that you're going to be able to put on for your people? And how do you feel that helps you out?
So I'll be honest with you, I've never given the way I am thought to attract a crowd. I don't tailor how I am to think, all right, cool, am I going to sell pay-per-views? I live my life how I live my life. I flipping love my life. I do what I try and do every single day. And if people like it, they like it. If they don't, they don't. My performance is what I care about. I'm going to go in there and have a war and be a savage, and it's going to be violent. That will attract people. If people enjoy my personality and they like me and they want to watch me and they want to get involved with what I'm involved in, beautiful. If I can get one person to say, yo, I want to be a foster carer because you told me about foster caring, then flipping my life is set. That's better than selling pay-per-views to me. So if I leave that legacy in MMA, this fighter attracted people to help other human beings, man, beautiful. Everything else is extra and out of my control and something I don't really care about. I have the people around me. I have my family, my loved ones. Fans are fans, and I'll be honest with you, fans can be quite wishy-washy. One day you're winning, they love you. The next day they hate you. This sport is black and white. It is what it is. Right. But what I do in my life, if that makes people want to do what I do, flipping lovely, man.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
All right, last one here. Todd?
Hey, Chef Luke. How you doing there? This is Todd from over here across the pond in America. Hey, you had just mentioned earlier that you were just a little more than upset about not being able to get your shot over here in America during the pandemic. Curious, once things settle down here and folks are able to start traveling again, and once you get a couple of W's under here, obviously you got to fight under your belt. You looking at America in your future, possibly to move the train to when it comes time to make that next big step? I mean, a lot of fighters have done it. Just curious what your thoughts were.
So I love the States. I've been there before. I've gone to every big gym you can think of in America. I've been there. I love my team, Team Titan. That's my home. That's where I'm going to be. For sure, I'll travel again just to get different bodies in. In terms of getting out there and fighting, I have a hit list already. You're going to find out on Friday night who I want to fight next. But right now, my mission is Yannick Bahati. After that, we'll deal with the next opponent. In terms of moving out there, if I could get my family out there with me, I'm gone. If I can move to California, surf all day and train, I'm a happy man. But hopefully one day with a small fortune, I can travel back and forth. My team is so strong here. I love them human beings. They support me. I support them. There's no reason why I need to move. But to get different training bodies every now and then for sparring, it's a great opportunity to go to them mega gyms. So yeah, mixed feelings. But in terms of one day moving out there, if I can bring my family and I have to, then I will 100%.
Appreciate you, Chef. Hey, we're looking forward to the next recipes you got.
My man, if you want anything in particular, hit me in the DMs, all right?
Hey, make it spicy. Then we're good.
Talk to me, sir. Let's go.
All right, Luke. Thanks very much for the time. Good luck on Friday.
So if I can add one thing before you have you finished the recording?
Yeah, no, go ahead. Go ahead.
You're rolling. I wanted to mention it in interviews. It's just to anyone out there who wants to do something great, whether it's MMA or not, and they're dreaming of doing something and they can't seem to reach a tangible goal. My dad reminded me, I come here when I was 17 to watch the UFC. Before I started training, I was just a fan of MMA, and for a birthday present, my dad brought me we stayed the night in the Hilton and watched the UFC that weekend. We went to the elevator for the fight night, and he said, Boise, this is the same place we stayed for the UFC fight. So cut 7 years forward, I'm in the exact same hotel where I passed fighters and thought, flip, them man are like gods. Oh, I hope one day I can meet some of them or just be friends with some of them. Now I'm one of the human beings fighting at Wembley Arena in front of thousands of human beings. 7 years ago, I was a little boy here for my birthday. So to anyone out there who has dreams and you're struggling to believe it's tangible, listen, work, grind, believe in yourself, surround yourself by love, and it will happen, man. Just flipping, keep dreaming, my friends. All right. I wanted to put it out there because it really hit home when I got in the hotel. It was amazing, man. So yeah, man, thank you for your time, human beings. I love you, man. Thank you.
Appreciate it, Luke. Thanks a lot, man.
Sir, thank you.
Take care.
The recording has stopped.
Next up, we have MVP. MVP will be joining us in just a minute. We are now being joined by
This meeting
MVP.
is being recorded.
We'll begin with a few questions from our media. Mike, go ahead. Mike, go ahead.
This one is
All right, we're going to move on there. Mike, your reception's a little shoddy. Jay, go ahead.
Hey, thanks very much. I'm hoping I sound a lot better than that. MVP, welcome back. I want to start with, obviously, this is a big rematch. And just how much does this mean to you, both on a professional level and on a personal level as well, this being, the one loss on your record?
Yeah, no, personally, my personality has always been quite petty, shall I say, in terms of I always have to get somebody back. I got a little black book, even in the gym. Anyone who catches me with a submission, I got to get you back. Anyone who gets me with a takedown, I got to get you back. Hits me with a punch, I got to get you back. I've always been like that. So that's personally. So imagine losing a fight, I have to get you back, and I always do. And professionally, yeah, just to be fair, it's just part of the career. We're in a very tough sport. Things like that just happen. I need to analyze, figure things out, go back, do it again, even better this time.
And, in terms of your growth and, Douglas Lima's growth since that first fight, how different do you think he is? How different are you as a fighter?
I don't think he's that much different. I think he's a person that's has been very successful with the style that he has. So he's a person that's not going to learn too many new tricks. He's stuck in his ways. He's got a certain way of fighting. So in terms of how he's progressed, I don't believe there has been much. He just kind of does this similar type of thing. For myself, yeah, I genuinely feel 10 times faster, 10 times stronger. I've done made a lot of changes in terms of my dietary habits, just my day-to-day personal life, how I kind of slotted things and adjusted things. So it's definitely taken a positive effect. And I just feel good, feel great coming into this fight. A lot of fighters walk around like zombies because they're so tired, and I've got bundles of energy, and we're still cutting weight. So yeah, I feel great.
Luke Kelly.
Hey, Michael. Luke from Empire Universe podcast. How's fight week been so far?
Yeah, man. Seriously, just everything is kind of going according to plan, so can't complain.
Excellent. And what's the feeling being able to not just have the crowds back, but be able to fight in from your home country?
Yeah, no, and this one in particular is a special one to kind of come back to as well, which is great. There's so much more buzz around this fight, so having it in the UK is just perfect. It's perfect for myself. It's a big fight, regardless of how confident going into the fight I am. It is a big fight. He is a dangerous fighter, dangerous individual. Sorry, guys. Dangerous individual, and I need to take it seriously. But having the crowd behind me is definitely going to help me, achieve that.
Santiago.
Hi, Mike. Greetings from Amsterdam. Thank you for the time. London is already pretty close to Amsterdam, so you're going in the right direction, Mike. We cannot wait to have you here.
Definitely. I know we've spoken about this before, man. I'd love to have a show in Amsterdam.
2 questions for you. How did your camp go at the London Shoot Fighters? And the moral is very high in the gym, right? Everyone keeps winning, man.
Nah, to be fair, we've been doing really, 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 really well. And there's a lot of new up and coming talent that, we haven't even kind of let loose yet, which is kind of good to see the guys that we're kind of inspiring and the guys that we're working with that we're kind of just working together and everyone doing so well. Yeah, man, the vibe in the gym is great.
There are these Paul brothers, Mike. You, of course, have a background in boxing yourself and are still undefeated. Would a boxing match with either one of them interest you, Mike? Or do you think they need a lot more experience to even match your skills? Because you are light years faster than both of them, right?
Yeah, 100%. It wouldn't interest me so much unless there's, if a contract's being displayed in front of me. It might interest my bank account, and that's about it. But it seems a bit of I keep repeating myself with this. It kind of seems a bit of a circus act over there that I'm kind of still not one to want to get involved in. But it's very hard to turn down some of the figures that these guys are putting up or able to put up. So I'd happily put one of them on their back.
Good luck on fight night, sir.
Thank you.
Gabriel Gonzalez.
Hey, Michael. Obviously wondering, you're known for putting on a show. Is there ever any struggle to not get a little too wild in there, especially considering you're going to be in front of those London fans?
Yeah, no, I don't think there's going to be a struggle, just because I know it's going to mean way more to my fans and my supporters just seeing him knocked out than actually anything I could even pull off. You know what I mean? Any kind of entertaining thing that I could even pull off. It's just they were with me when I lost, and they almost felt it as well when I lost, and now they're here to see me win. And I think the W is all that anybody's interested in terms of the support, which is definitely going to keep me in line.
A win here obviously was a big one over a big name, former champion. One of the big knocks is MVP hasn't faced XYZ. Can you talk about personally how satisfying it would be for you as a striker to get the belt from a strong grappler like Yaroslav Amosov?
Yeah, but I think every win is great to me. I don't really go by what people say, because a lot of the times these people are talking from inexperience. They're talking from never ever stepping foot in a gym, let alone a cage. So there's no reason for me to kind of even need to pay attention to or even focus on those type of people. So it's a case of every fight is great. Some people, I feel like, does it, a fight I'm just going to use an example. Someone like Jorge Masvidal doing that jump knee in 5 seconds and taking out an amazing wrestler. Does that take away how amazing that guy's wrestling is? No, Askren is obviously proven, but a lot of people only focus on those individual moments. So I know for a fact, regardless of how good he is at wrestling, I can take him out and probably in spectacular fashion, but does that make him a can again? No, it doesn't. But I feel like everybody's a can just because of how I'm able to defeat them and the fashion I'm able to defeat people in.
Jack, go ahead.
Hi, Michael. It's Jack from Planet Sport here. Since your first career defeat to Lima in 2019, you've won 5 out of 5. How confident are you going into this fight, and how confident are you to make it 6 out of 6?
No, I'm extremely confident. To be fair, I wouldn't if I didn't know I was going to be this confident. I just wouldn't have taken the fight. I've been chasing the fight because I know what I can do. I know what's about to take place on Friday. I've already seen it time and time again. I'm very confident in what's in my abilities and how the improvement. So yeah, 6 out of 6 is coming.
And Douglas Lima's 2 consecutive losses must also give you a boost for Friday. What statement are you looking to make, and how will you get your revenge?
Yeah, I always want to make a statement, full stop, just because, like I say, I always like to be the standout. I like to see it be reposted by everybody and every big name and every big channel, and posting it and talking about it afterwards. So I always like to make a statement. But yeah, his 2 losses don't mean anything. I do not pay attention to things like that because he's too experienced for those things to affect him. I've seen him bounce back in multiple times. He's lost it, won the belt, lost it, won the belt. Those things do not take a role with somebody that talented. So I just have to focus on all of his best fights. And expect him to be the best Douglas Lima on Friday. Still not going to be enough.
Bobby?
Hi, Michael. Bobby from MMA UK. Just before I ask my question, got to say, so I train with Aria Esfanmaz, and I was asking him all week to try and give me a little behind the scenes little thing to bring up, and he wouldn't. He kept quiet, so he's had your back on that one. But just going on jiu-jitsu, obviously we saw in the first round, you both spent a lot of time on the ground, but he wasn't able to pass your guard. He wasn't really able to do any damage. Do you feel like your jiu-jitsu is going to be able to hold up with Lima if it hits the ground again, or would you possibly even go for more of an offensive guard this time?
Yeah, we've got, again, I keep telling people it's mixed martial arts. As much as I love, and obviously, I love the striking element of it, and I prefer the striking element of it. If I am not capable everywhere else, it means I get less time doing the striking. So if I took too much damage while I'm on the floor, when I get up, I'm not the same person. So I need to be well protected, and I need to have offensive, I need to have defensive in every area, wrestling, jiu-jitsu, so on and so forth. Obviously, it's not my forte, but I'm very confident that I can, prevent, as you saw in the last fight, prevent much damage from happening to myself and prevent submissions, regardless of who you could put black belts against me. I've had it time and time again in the gym, and I might not be able to submit them because they're amazing in their field, but again, they're struggling to submit me. And that's all I really need to do in this game. As much as I actually do genuinely enjoy jiu-jitsu, so I genuinely am always working on building my game and working on new tricks and trying to, again, even with my personality, trying to make it as creative as possible. So yeah, I don't see much taking place on the floor apart from after I land that punch or that kick.
And obviously, your post-fight celebrations are always something that everyone looks forward to. Not to look too far ahead into the future, but do you have something planned for us?
No, not really, not yet. I've got a few ideas. It will be entertaining, as always. I've got a few ideas, but the focus in this fight, like I say, for the crowd, and I think they only really are really going to care about that W. Seeing Douglas Lima fall to the floor and the referee wave their hands is going to be more than enough for everybody in that arena and for everybody around the world that was, supporting me in this fight. I think that's definitely going to be more than enough.
James?
Okay, hi, James Lee Hart, MMA Ireland. So you're riding a 5-fight win streak at the minute. Obviously, since the last time you fought Lima. What's different this time around? Bear in mind, you come off 4 then were TKOs, net KOs. So what's different to this fight this time round?
6 camps.
5-fight win streak.
Yeah, but 6 camps is what's different. I've seen them have played 6 different camps. Yeah, and that's why, you know what I mean? This is my 6th camp, and all in preparation to be a better version of myself than I was that day for, for what's coming in a couple of days. I really am a completely different fighter. It's hard to explain. People in the gyms, the guys that I've been doing sparring with, they are all like, right now you're on you're a bit otherworldly at the moment because you're putting off some crazy stuff in the gym successfully, landing some great shots, moving better, seeing shots better. So I just feel great, and I know if I can deliver on a day, which I usually do, he has no chance.
Okay, so if you win Friday night, what is next for you? You're going to go for the title shot?
So when I win Friday night, the likeliness is, the next door to open is to go for the title. But again, my focus is getting through this first door in front of me. I don't like to bypass it.
Abdullah?
Hey, Michael, how's it going?
How you doing?
Good, thank you. Abdullah Zbayd with you from breakyourpace.com, all the way in Kuwait in the Middle East.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Michael, no doubt, you're always a challenge to any fighter across the cage from you. A very impressive record. You're always an exciting fighter to watch. Now, with that said, you're about to face, once again, the man who provided your only career loss. In terms of preparation, you mentioned you changed some habits and some of your diet. You just said you've had 6 camps. But what do you believe you need to do differently this time in the cage, if anything, to have your hand raised at the end of the fight?
For this fight, I just need to be a little bit more, patient, only a little bit more patient, and a bit more specific with with the movements and the punches and kicks that I throw. I can't waste anything. I tend not to waste too much anyway, but I think if I can refine that a little bit more, which I have been doing, and I apply that game plan, it's not going to take too much. If, again, a lot of people, obviously, they focus on the small clip of me being knocked out and then that's it. But before then, I was piecing him up. I was finding shots and I was softening that meat. It was almost time to get cooked. And I kind of messed up in the preparation. and chop my own finger, shall I say. And it's a case of being patient, because I know by the end of the fight, he would have been cooked. And if I take my time, find a few more of those shots, he's going to fall over.
Just a few more here. Kobe?
Hi, Michael. Kobe from the Pro Sports Podcasters in Canada. Can't wait. Good, buddy. Good, buddy. Can't wait to see you fight. Just wondering, you said Douglas Lima has pretty much a very regimented style. Generally, it doesn't change too much. Is there anything different about how you're preparing for him this time, this particular fight camp, than there was your first time you faced him?
Yeah, no, again, similar to what I was just saying, it's more a case of being a bit more specific with what I throw. I can't waste anything. He is a person that will capitalize on mistakes because he's so experienced, which, everyone saw in our last meeting. So I just need to make sure I don't make those mistakes. And it simply means taking my time a little bit more, finding a few more. That shot that rocked him, if I find a few more of those, he's going to be in deep waters. And by that point, I think even mentally he'll be out of the game. And then it's just a case of finding that last shot. And I'm a sniper. I just need to kind of remain a sniper and not run into action unnecessarily. Unless I need to. If I'm rounds down and it's last round, I need to go and force action. It's different, but I don't even see it going into that kind of direction.
Now, to take you outside of this fight for 1 second, are there any young up-and-coming welterweights you've noticed that you think can really make a big impression in Bellator soon?
In Bellator, to be fair, I haven't been paying attention enough. So in Bellator, it's very difficult for me to kind of just place a name, and I'm terrible with names anyway. I genuinely can't think of anybody that has made me think, somebody, that's going to be a massive problem soon.
Last
outside
one.
I'll say the only other person, but he's already ranked number 3, so it makes sense. Is Jason Jackson. He just seems to somebody that people don't really talk about much, I guess, but he keeps winning fights, and he's right there at the top. So a bit of a creeper. So again, he's very obviously very talented.
Ty, go ahead.
How you doing, Michael? Big fan here.
How you doing, man?
I'm good, mate. I'm good. So, is this the most you've ever been motivated for a fight before?
Nah. I've had other. Yeah, nah, not at all. I'm definitely as motivated as a couple of other fights, but I wouldn't say any more, because again, I feel like I don't want to get lost in overexcitement or I don't want to exert any extra energy unnecessarily and so on and so forth. So I'm trying to stay nice, calm, composed, feeling good, and just remain in that space. A lot of times when I'm feeling good, I'm dancing, I'm chilled, I'm a problem for most people.
In recent interviews, you have spoken about going to the UFC, but it seems that you'll be next in line if you win this fight. What route would you like to take?
Obviously, if there's something I haven't achieved yet within Bellator, and I've been here